Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having a great day. My name's Jade. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. This is the OG palette. This is the warm tone one. I did this look with it, so if you want to see how I did it and you want to kind of talk about this palette a little bit, keep on watching. So we're going to be doing the Makeup by Mario palette today. As you can see, this is what the palette looks like. Lots of warm colors, so we're going to try and make a look with it. And we're going to be using the eyeshadow brush as well. I'm going to just start off with my brows and my eyelid primer, and then we'll get started. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are doing well. I just figured I would come on here for a Makeup Monday and just do like a run through of what this palette looks like. Cool Neutrals one just recently came out. I want that one so bad, so I figured I'll test out this warm one first before I think about getting the cool one. But yeah, how do you guys like the cool one? Because I've seen lots and lots of people try it. I really want it, so what do you guys think of it? I definitely have like a pimple starting on my eyebrow. I can feel it when I run my pencil over it. Do you guys hate that? I find that I always get my pimples in my eyebrows. Looking great, looking great. Definitely getting like a pimple of some sort in my eyebrow though, which sucks, but that's okay. Using the House Labs concealer today. I have been loving this concealer. It's great. It does really good coverage for it being a medium coverage concealer. And it's just been really good at kind of laying that base for my eyeshadow, which I haven't really been wearing a whole lot of eyeshadow with this, but it's doing a good job so far. Using the matching brush with it as well, which I have been really enjoying this brush. I mean, it just lays like a really light base for shadow to build on, which I like. I might do a little bit more just to help, because I haven't been sleeping well, so I feel like I have a little bit more like darkness on my eyelids, so I'm just gonna kind of build that up for a second. Yeah, this brush is just amazing. I love it. Yeah, it fits right in like this socket area of my eyes, so I find that it helps like get into like the weird spots where I have darkness, so I think that's just great. I probably should just peel the mirror off the plastic. Oh, I didn't want to do that, but may as well make it simple and easy today. Just use this, which, oh, it's actually not a bad mirror. It's like a full, like the entire thing is just mirror, so that's just great. I really like that. So we're going to take the fluffy brush and we're going to go in with this first shadow, this pale one. We're just going to brush it on top. I don't know if this is supposed to have like a lot of color or what, but so far it's okay. Probably just setting, because I feel like it's really close to the concealer color, so it's probably not going to add too much color. Going with this peachy shade right here. Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm not liking about this, is that I can't really like bend the mirror back to show you guys. But yeah, so I went in with that peachy shade. Had a little bit of kickback, but that's okay. Apparently these eyeshadows are really pigmented, so we'll see about that. This brush is super soft, to be honest, so maybe I'll get more of those eye brushes. I feel like, see, this is how it is. It's like super tapered, super fluffy, so I feel like you could probably do an entire eye look with this, which is great. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, just to darken it up. He did say on his like video that you do have to build up these shadows. I am finding that you do have to build up these shadows to kind of get the pigment that you want. But I mean, it's not terrible. Like, I don't mind building up my pigment, but if you're in like a rush and you don't want to have to build up your pigment, then that's kind of like an error. But I am liking this brush because it's very fluffy, it's very soft. Like, I am getting some like color payoff and whatnot, so that's good. And I feel like if you just invest in this brush, like, you probably could do an entire eye look with this palette with this brush. It's very soft. Go in with this tone right here. Yeah, that tone right there. I'm just gonna pack it on the outer corner. A little too much, but that's okay. That one was straight up pigmented. I didn't even have to build up that one. I'm just kind of doing like an everyday simple look that I would wear on like a day-to-day basis if I was just going out and I wanted to do something simple, which is great. This is working out fantastic. I will say though, this isn't necessarily like, it's nice, but it's not one of those like, I have to have this palette. Like, it is nice, it is working well, and I think I'm gonna reach for it a lot, but it's just one of those palettes where I feel like if you have the soft glam one, you probably don't need this. But if you're like a working makeup artist and you need just like a couple palettes to like start off your kit with, I think this would be a great starter kit. Or even if you're just a beginner and you don't really know where to start with shadows, I think this would be a really good beginner palette, just with like the amount of like warm shadows it has and just like easy of a look that you can do with this palette. I'm definitely darker on this side, so I'm just gonna kind of build that up. Like these shadows, like once you start getting into like the darker shadows, they are pigmented, which is really, really nice. So that's great. But yeah, those light pigments, obviously they're meant to be like transitional shades, but you really had to kind of build them up to kind of get the shadow that you wanted, which isn't a bad thing, especially if you're like a beginner, I guess, and you're trying to just figure out what transition shades work for you. Yeah, I'm liking it. This I made a little bit darker, but I think that could just be lighting as well and just how my eye sits on this side. There we go. Yeah, it's not bad. All right, so now I'm gonna go into this like chocolatey brown, or you know what, I might go in with this one. Just gonna go with a little bit. I just kind of packed it on the very outer corner. Not bringing this up too much to the crease. But yeah, you know what, I like this palette. I think it's great for beginners and whatnot. But I mean, it's, as somebody who's been doing makeup for a long time, definitely am liking it as a beginner, or if you're a makeup artist, I think it's great. But I think that if you already have something like the Soft Glam palette, like, don't really, I wouldn't say need it, but I could see myself like reaching for this palette though. That's the nice thing. I am gonna take another brush. I'm just gonna take this Morphe brush and just kind of blend it a little bit. All right, yeah. And I think I'm gonna go in with this super dark shadow that's like almost by the black, like it's beside the black, and I'm just gonna gently rub that on the very outer corner, just a little bit. That is very pigmented. Just gonna sweep some of it into everything to blend it out. Yeah, that shade is definitely pigmented. It's almost like dark enough that if you didn't want to do quite a black, you could totally do this instead and kind of get the same effect. So the brush, quite like the brush. And then I'm going to go in with this flat Anastasia brush, and I'm going to go right into that white. Packs on quite well. And I'm going to pat that on my lid. That is It was nice, but it just felt like it stuck right there for a second and looked quite cloudy for a second. I think I might actually go in with a bit of a darker shade, not the white, over top of this. Like that peachy shade that's like right here. Instead. Yeah. Gonna go back in, kind of diffuse it a little bit, just at the edges. And there we go. That is the top part of the eye. You know what I might actually do is I might actually go in with a different brush. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with this like flat little packer brush, and I'm gonna try, oh god, that black when I dipped into it, like that's how it looks. So that's gonna be pigmented. I'm just going to add a little bit of black. Oh, I think I got it on my lid, but that's okay. That is pigmented. I hope I didn't mess up the look, but we're gonna diffuse that a bit. Yeah, I think I put it a little too high, but that's okay. Too smoky for what I was going for. So I might just go in with that lighter brown that I went in with. A little too much black. So be careful with that black. Yeah, like look at that. That is pigmented. That's very pigmented. Flick it up, I guess, on this side. Hopefully that kind of helps it. I feel like they definitely don't look even now, but that's okay. And I find that it didn't have like a lot of fallout on my cheek either, so that's good. I'm just gonna go on with my base now. So we're gonna go in with the e.l.f. primer. Oop, that's a lot. So, and I just prepped my skin with the e.l.f. Hydration Moisturizer. That one I've been using a lot lately. I think I had it in my haul recently, so if you wanted to check it out, you totally can. This is quite a thick primer. Like, it feels at least thick to me. Like, I don't think it's supposed to. Now we're just gonna go right in with the foundation. I'm still using up my sample of the Haus Labs foundation before I dip into like the actual bottle. I know that's so weird, but you know what, I really just don't like to waste, and I feel like when you have the sample, why not use it? I think I'm gonna be almost done it soon, because like I do wear this foundation like quite frequently, and I do put a little bit more on than I probably should, but I'm just gonna put on a bunch of it. One thing that I've recently learned with a lot of people is that if you really want your face to look great, then apparently you're supposed to put on more than you think. So we'll see how that goes. The Haus Labs foundation brush. I'm really liking the foundation and the concealer duo. I plan to do like a full review with this foundation and concealer. I just would like to be able to try it a bit more and like figure out kind of how it works with the other products that I have before I just like say, oh yes, this is my like go-to and you need to buy it as well. Okay, so I guess a little bit of the shadow came down, which is okay. So I'm just gonna take this puff and just wipe it along. This gives me a nice base to like apply my other products to. I'm gonna take a foundation brush and just, not too much, but apply a bit more. Maybe put a little too much on, but that's okay. So just gonna use the concealer brush. I love this concealer brush. And as I predicted, it is good for just getting around your shadow. Now we're gonna use the House Labs powder. I'm gonna go in with the House Labs bronzer, kind of bronze up my face. I've been really liking this bronzer. Like, it really just helps warm up my face and whatnot. And I didn't really think that this brush was like kind of worth it at the moment, but like I am kind of liking this brush now that I've tried it more. And do I think that you need a $46 brush to do your bronzer? No, but I am really enjoying it. Also gonna be using the Makeup by Mario blush. Oh my god, this blush, so good. I love it so much. And I just love applying this. Like, this blush is so good. I don't even care if it looks super rosy. I just love it so much. For highlight, I'm just gonna use the Fenty one. Now this one I'm really on the fence about if I'm gonna like repurchase or not, because I do like it. I'm just not in love with it. It does like give me a nice soft glow, but almost like not enough for me. Now back in with the Makeup by Mario palette, I'm just gonna go in with that first like peachy shade that we went in with, and I'm just gonna go along my lower lash line. Then we're gonna go in that next, like that starting brown shade. Just gonna go underneath. I'm gonna go in that with orangey shade. And then I'll go in with that burnt red brown. See, it's looking good, and I'm not doing black. I don't do black on the lower lash line unless I absolutely have to, and today is not absolutely have to. To apply my brow gel. This is the Essence brow gel. This is literally the bee's knees. I love it so much. Holds my brows in place all day. It's literally great. Going with the Essence Lash Princess Volume Mascara. This is great. Would repurchase this again. So I'm gonna go in with Lolita from the KVD Beauty. I think this was renamed, but it's still Lolita on here. I don't know what it's been renamed to, but I'm sure you could probably find it on the KVD website or Sephora or something. Alright, so I just put on my setting spray. I'm just gonna air dry this for a second. But yeah, this is basically the look that I did with this palette. I really do like the look of this. I think, like, I love it. It's a great palette, but I mean, it's basic. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It just is a very basic palette. So if you have been in the makeup game for like a while, you probably already have some of these shades and you don't really necessarily need this palette. It's great. It's a great quality palette. I would definitely recommend it for beginners if you were just getting into the makeup world and you wanted to start high-end shadows. I think this would be great, especially if you could get it at like the VIB discount, which is what I did. So this is the look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next video. Bye!